There is only one purpose to study abroad. According to Susan Opper, 1987, Hispania, students studying abroad, sitting on a bench or studying abroad, that purpose is higher education, cooperation, and the pursuit of foreign study are in particular truly inevitable ingredients of an interdependent world. However, this interdependent world can only be achieved through the individual and evident benefits of study abroad. These benefits are that students gain a new world perspective, increased language abilities, and lasting social connections. I'm too American to study abroad. This is a statement I heard in my freshman IDS class in response to a guest speaker from the Study Abroad office. This is a very narrow view, and it can be changed through study abroad. One can be well versed in language, culture, histories, etc. Yet if they have never studied abroad, they look at these things through one particular lens. However, it only takes this, a passport. Its many visas allow you to travel the world, and with each visa you gain a new lens to look at the world. First, when students study abroad, they first realize what makes them American, what makes them French, what makes them Canadian, what makes their national identity. They realize this by studying the culture. By studying one culture, they understand two. When they learn the differences and the similarities between their cultures, they also realize who they are in the world, what makes them different, and what makes them connected to everyone else. This self-realization in the world has led to an increase in globalization. In the Senator Paul Simon Study Abroad Act, the top politicians who wrote it stated, in response to globalization, the United States needs a workforce for government, business, and other sectors educated and experienced in foreign languages and cultures. They realized that because of this globalization, they needed students to be able to compete with it. People who, through their new world perspective, have become globalized. Another benefit, besides the new world perspective, is language capabilities. When a student steps into another country that speaks a language different than their native tongue, they are immersed and are forced to learn the language. Immersion education benefits three key components to language learning: listening, speaking, and reading. No longer is it just your French, Spanish, Latin, Italian, Chinese, or Japanese teacher refusing to ask or respond to questions in English. It's an entire country. To survive, a student is forced to listen with their best attention and focus on what is being said and able to respond appropriately or to receive directions. The second benefit to the total immersion is the oral capabilities. In a study done by Feed, So, and Lazar in 2003, which Lord Gillian republished in 2009, Hispania, Language Awareness and Development During Study Abroad, a case study, study abroad students exhibit more characteristics of oral fluency than at-home students, as measured by criteria including speech rate, absence of hesitation, repetitions or grammatical repairs, and quantity of language produced. Being forced to listen and respond in the language increases both oral and auditory senses. The last ability increased by total immersion programs and study abroad is reading. The moment you step off your plane and you walk the streets or you're reading a textbook, you are forced to recognize words and languages, forced to recognize the written language in order to understand where you are or what you are studying. The one benefit that immersion doesn't provide is written capabilities. It is seen that there's no difference between study abroad students and at-home students. However, many language learning theories state that writing is the last obstacle to overcome after having already mastered the other three components: listening, speaking, and reading. The last benefit provided by study abroad is lasting social connections. These are achieved when either you as a student interact with the study abroad students here, or as a student you study abroad in other nations. The connections can be made with teachers, other exchange students, host families, and nationals of the country you are studying in. I, like many others, have many friends who were studying abroad and have 215 emails from only one friend. Granted, I met him in high school, so I have more emails than others. And other friends who keep Tumblrs or blogs chronicling their experience in study abroad programs talks much about their friends and how they will miss them once they come back to the States. In a world with such an online presence in social networking, study abroad is a greater vehicle towards creating true social connections. Study abroad offers many benefits. The evident ones are a new world perspective, increased language abilities, and lasting social connections. These individual benefits work to create the more interdependent world Susan Opper spoke of. Through individuals who understand cultural similarities and differences and are able to communicate through language with the support of friends, this interdependent world comes into existence. Thank you.